Hey people, welcome back to Blueprint Japan, the show where we explore what it takes to build a meaningful life, a career, and a business in Japan. This episode is for anyone who has ever felt that they were following the right path, maybe on paper, but still found themselves asking, is this really what I want? It's for founders, professionals, creatives, and anyone living abroad who is searching for a deeper sense of purpose, community, and fulfillment. Now, my guest today is Levi. Born in Texas and raised in Hawaii, Levi's fascination with Japan began long before he ever moved here. What started with a family trip and a copy of Shogun eventually led Levi to study Japanese, attend Sophia University, and later joined the JET program in a small mountain village in Tokushima with only 676 people. Over the years, Levi experienced two very different sides of Japan. He built a successful career in Tokyo's recruitment industry, but he also discovered something many people overlook, that maybe some of the most meaningful experiences in Japan happen far, far away from the city, through community, nature, and human connection. Today, Levi lives in Ichinomiya, Chiba, where he runs Sumeba, a digital detox retreat and mindfulness coaching business that helps people disconnect from technology and reconnect with themselves. Through retreats, local community projects, farming initiatives, and mindfulness practices, Levi has built a life centered around purpose rather than status. And in this conversation, we talk about Japanese integrating into local communities, the differences between city and countryside life, digital detoxing, mindfulness, sustainable living, and what it means to create a life that feels just purposely and genuinely aligned with who you are, and maybe how you can find that. And so if you have ever wondered whether there might be another way to live in Japan and find the right community, find your people, or just maybe another way to define success rather than, working almost 24/7 in Tokyo, this episode might be for you. And before we dive into the conversation with Levi, which is recorded on Riverside, if you guys live in Japan and you like honey, check out bbrazil.jp. I was involved in their market entry, and I'm still helping them with some Amazon SEO stuff and their website copy in Japanese. It's they're not really set, but they're selling, and I genuinely like their products. It's they have natural organic honey, but with nuts, cashew nuts, protein, and fruit. And also, if you like spicy honey, they have two different flavors, hot chili and pineapple chili. And so just check it out. They don't have to buy, and they're not a sponsor, but I genuinely like to help them and support them. I like their brands and their brand and their products. And yeah, give them a go. It's bbrazil.jp, and maybe eventually one day I will have a promotion code for you guys. But yeah, they ship on Amazon and on their website. And yeah, if you go on Amazon, it's amazon.co.jp/bbraziljapan, and B as in the animal bee. bbrazil.jp or amazon.co.jp/bbraziljapan. Okay, enjoy the conversation with Levi. Hisashiburi.
Dude, what's going on? You're alive? Like, I haven't talked to you since you were on the brink, and then yeah,
it's been 10 years or so. Yeah, man, good. No, it's been a couple of ups and downs, health-wise as well. Yeah, but it's life goes on. Maybe I should move to the countryside as well.
Is it caused by something in the city or like
No, not
exacerbated?
really. No. So I think, yeah, 4 years ago, COVID hit me really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was doing a lot of like sprints and stuff before. I was pretty active, pretty sportsy. And now, like, I can walk or like run at a regular pace, but I can't do sprints anymore just because my lungs are pretty damaged still.
Damn.
Yeah. And so, sometimes with kafuncho, and if I get too stressed or so, I think my immune system just like shuts down.
Shit.
Mm,
That's
yeah.
gnarly.
But it happens once a year, but when it happens really bad.
Mm,
And so, yeah.
I see.
But man, I'm alive.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm looking at a reborn version of you with all white and everything too.
Ah!
Is this recorded, by the way?
Yeah, but like we can cut and stuff.
Okay,
So all good.
okay.
I'll chill.
Okay,
I'll chill.
cool.
Yeah. No, good seeing you, Levi.
Yeah, likewise. You have plans for Golden Week, by the way?
Yeah. I might travel a little bit for like a week or
Mm-hmm.
like 10 days.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
I'm thinking
Sweet.
either Hokkaido
Mm.
or maybe take the car and drive down to Shikoku and then
Oh,
take the ferry, go to
Naoshima?
Kyushu. No,
Kyushu.
Kyushu.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah. What about
That's
yourself?
awesome. That's awesome. I'm running 2 retreats during Golden Week.
Mm.
Well, I'm running one for sure, May 3rd to 5th, and then I might run another one 9th to 10th. So, and I'm onboarding a couple of coaching clients as well. So, Golden Week's actually quite busy for me.
Mm-hmm.
But the week after, from the 15th to the 25th, I'm going to Okayama. And I'm going on this. It's a place called Pamimomi, and it's they do permaculture design courses, which is like
Mm-hmm.
for farming, but they're also teaching like a water systems and survival fire making course. So I'm gonna go and participate in those workshops. That's like a week roughly for those two. They're bringing someone out from Taiwan who's gonna talk about it, and then yeah, maybe be able to use some of those skills that I've learned and maybe teach other people here. So yeah, it's kind of like
Is that
a
gonna?
benkyokai kind of thing for me.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Is that gonna be in English or Japanese?
Probably mixture. The guy from Taiwan, I think, only speaks English, so translated. But then there's other people that are from Japan. So
How do you find these things?
that one, it's like I actually have heard about this from 2 different places. One was I have a friend here in my town who went to the permaculture design course, and he told me about this guy, Kyle Holzer. And then I also heard about Kyle, like just from someone else talking about permaculture, and like on Instagram, he's posted about it. So he has a really cool. He doesn't call it a retreat center because it's really about like permaculture design and farming and stuff, but he still brings out volunteers and he runs workshops like this. It's just not like about coaching or, digital detox or things like this. So I think it's
Okay.
all just a function, to sum it up, of being in this space. Like if you're interested in this kind of thing, then you will get, you
Mm-hmm.
know, people are going to be
It's your
connected.
bubble.
So it's your
Yeah.
bubble. It becomes your bubble. So it's like, where do you want your bubble to be?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it's somewhere where you're actually interested. But anyway, I'll let you. I don't know if you want to officially start us off or how we should do this, but
No, we can just keep it pretty casual, pretty easy. That's the whole theme of the podcast. Um, but yeah, I will have an introduction about you just because of time.
mhm.
And you said before you prefer not to talk about your life story too much because that's already out there. And
Mhm.
obviously I could do my research and stuff. So give me a really short version of how you ended up in Japan.
So the short version is I wanted to learn Japanese in college, because I'd learned Spanish before that, and in Spanish class in college, like everyone just wanted to go to Madrid or
Mm-hmm.
Barcelona and party, and drink as as you could do. But I wasn't really interested to do that because I'd already done it in high school. I'd studied abroad in Granada for a summer and drank a lot and partied, and it was awesome. But I was kind of over it, so I was like, I want to do something different. And no one in this class is taking it seriously, and I'm paying so like thousands and thousands of dollars. So I want to do something different. I decided to take Japanese, partially because I went on a trip with my dad and my brothers, and it was very impactful during my freshman year of college. And at that time, I was also reading Shogun, which is now a TV series, a really good one. And I was really interested because it was like this land where I could understand nothing. I like knew nothing that was going on. I couldn't do anything for myself, and so that was kind of like piqued my interest. I was like, I want to solve this puzzle of Japan. And from there, I studied abroad at Jochi, and then was still like just hooked. Like I wanted to come back. Became a jet, um, and yeah, the rest is history. Moved to Tokyo. Wanted to like use my Japanese. Ended up using almost no Japanese at my work. Um, but yeah, that's kind of the what brought me here. Curiosity, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting. I think you also studied theology,
Mm-hmm.
and so
Mm-hmm.
that curiosity. It's always like, okay, how were we as kids and how we are as adults? There's a lot of like
Mm.
overlapping elements in that. I mean, just to give you a reference, I studied languages as well, and Spanish was also a big part of my, what is it, like college years or before, like high school. I
Mm-hmm.
always mix the terms up in English because in German, the system, in
Mm-hmm.
Switzerland, the system is different. But I also studied Spanish. And then it was always like, man, how, like, you learn one language and it opens you so many more cultural doors and doors to
Mm.
people, doors to experiences, right? So, okay, so JET program, why are you in Ichinomiya right now? Why
Mm.
Chiba?
Surfing.
Yeah.
Period. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's what attracted me to this place. When I was kind of burning out in Tokyo, I was like, what do I want to do? And my mind was blank. I was like, I have no idea what I want to do with my life or whether I want to stay in Japan. I was kind of feeling like maybe it's Japan that I'm kind of sick of right now and sucking my energy. Maybe it's the job and I should quit. Maybe it's my girlfriend's putting pressure on me to get married. Like I don't know what it is. I don't know what I want. So many decisions all at once. And then the only thing that stuck out to me was like go surf. I just read this book called Die with Zero. Have you heard of it?
No, never.
Die with Zero is all about. It really changed my perspective on life. Like it really resonated with me because it's all about the goal is to die with $0 in your bank account.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds really scary to people because you're like, you know, what's going to happen if I don't have money in my bank account? But the point of it is that you have things that you can experience during your life, and you can only experience them at certain phases of your life, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
for example, going and studying abroad in Granada in Spain and drinking a lot like that. It's not something that I would choose to do again, probably now, even as a 32-year-old, and probably even less so as a 42-year-old or 52-year-old, right? So
Mm-hmm.
there's certain seasons, and how surfing fits in is, yeah, you can surf long, like for your whole life, and there's people that do, but for shortboarding and like really getting to the peak level of your surfing ability, you you should do it when you're younger, right? It's just better for sports to start younger. So I was thinking if I ever really want to get good at this thing that I love to do, then I have to put myself in this environment where I can actually do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so that was kind of the mindset that I had, going into it.
How is the environment with the people in Chiba with the surfing community?
It's really good. I mean, we have like I have like 3 line groups that I'm in. We had to like divide them up because they were just getting too much.
Hmm.
I'm in so many line groups now. But the line groups just for Ichinomiya or like this Boso area, we have a surfing one. And there's probably like 20 something people that are in it, and we'll update each other about how the waves are in the morning, and we'll like, okay, who wants to go surf today? You can pretty much contact them and someone will be free usually to like go surf with. It's mostly foreigners in that group.
Really?
Yeah, mostly foreigners. There's also like a Japanese group, but it's they wake up really early to surf, and so last year I joined them a lot, but this year I've been lazy about it. But it's probably summertime I'll go and join them more. Yeah,
Well,
but
it's
we'll
too
we'll have
cold anyways, isn't it?
no. I mean, you can still go out with a wetsuit all year round,
Okay.
so it's still possible. You have to just have the gear, but it's worth it. It's worth it. It's less crowded than the summertime as well, so that's nice. But yeah, we get together. Like we had a party and barbecue the other day. We'll continue to have more and more of them as the weather warms up. So yeah, it's a the cool thing about it is because I'm in that bubble, like you said, that environment. There's a lot of like-minded people. So people that are living a similar lifestyle or have similar priorities or at least the similar passion of surfing. Um, Whereas when I was in Tokyo, it was like, okay, let me organize a trip once every month or once every quarter to
Hmm.
go and surf on the weekends when it's the most crowded and you can't even really improve that well. So yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I think, as what's the word? As ridiculous as it may sound, like connecting with people in the countryside is way easier and like even like more efficient than in Tokyo. And I think now thinking about that, I mean, Tokyo is a city with what, 34 million people,
Mm.
for maybe 40 million people, and loneliness is like is a thing here. So many people complain about being alone, being lonely, not having not finding the connection. So I think that's also, and I also wanted to have you on the podcast to talk about like community building because I often just drive outside of Tokyo, like at
Mm.
least once a month. I would go somewhere. I go to Kyushu like 4 times a year,
Mm.
right? And that's because I don't know anyone there, so it's easier, kind of like to just jump in and talk
Mm.
with people and be like, oh, where you from, what you do. And last month, no, this month, earlier this month, I went to Miyoko Kogen
Mm.
because my friend had a surgery. And then, like, he was doing rehab and stuff and just wanted to check in on him. And then there was a Hanami happening. So we just sat down and I quit drinking like 2 years ago. So there was this guy, it's a group of Japanese people. And they put out the blanket, they were sitting and drinking and stuff. And we had like a couple of times like a weird but funny eye contact happening. Right. So, and then at one point, he looked at me and I looked at him. And so we started laughing. And then I approached him. And then he was like, I see like all of your friends are drinking, but you're not. Why? It's Hanami, drink. And then we started chatting and I sat down there. And anyways, long story short, we ended up, like two of us ended up at one of their houses. And it's like, well, they were like 60 years old, like mid 50s, early 60s. But like the way they welcomed us and incorporated us, and it was just like it's like hanging out with mom and dad, right?
Mm.
That was pretty cool. And so I I think that's you said something very important earlier when we were chatting online. You said you believe Japan is friendly to foreigners, but the bar is higher and they expect more from us. Can you
Mm.
elaborate on that? Because I know exactly what you mean, but for people
Mm-hmm.
listening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, just like piggyback on your story, I think that the difference is between if you go to a Tokyo Hanami and a Kyushu Hanami, the difference is just the environment. Like, what is the state of mind that people are in? Are they in a state of abundance? Maybe you hear this in the wellness space, but like, what does it mean? It means if you're in Tokyo, there's limited amount of space, like literal physical space, right? So you're going to fight for people you're going to fight for where you can put your tarp even in Yoyogi Koen, right? And you're going to have so many different people all around doing different things that like people don't have the space, like the peace of mind. You might have some kind of short interaction, but is someone going to invite you back to their house? It's possible, but it's not probably likely. Whereas in the countryside, people, it's slower, right? It's a little bit more about you can be curious about other people because you're not overwhelmed by people constantly. So yeah, the comment I made about Japan being friendly to foreigners, just go out to the countryside. I mean, it's not for every single person, but it wouldn't be like that in your home country either, right? But I think about going to America, as a foreigner, I'd be way more scared to do that than I would be in Japan. Like people are going to take care of you pretty much. If a small example is like if you go to a restaurant and you ask them what's the osusume, what's their recommendation, they're going to give you the best thing on the menu, not the most expensive thing on the menu. And that alone is the difference. Like they want you to like Japan. They want you to love this country and have a good experience, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And it's even more true if you are someone who lives there and you make the effort, right? So what I was saying about the bar is higher. You can still, I know people in the community that don't speak a lot of Japanese, but again, like your home country, if you were in your home country and you don't speak you speak that language, then it's going to be harder. The bar is higher to connect with people, right? So just as a baseline, getting into the community, learning the language is so important, and learning the culture too. And I think this is why Japan likes foreigners, is just because Japan's really respectful to everybody. If you give respect, then you'll get respect here, which is not true in America. If you give respect in America, you might just get walked on, because again, it's all about the money. It's all about the bottom line. The societal contract is all built off of money, whereas here it's built off of respect. So baseline respect, learn some of the language, even a little bit. Learn the culture and be like deferential to people, respect your surroundings, respect, like if someone does invite you out to their home, you're going to treat their home with respect as you would your own home or anyone else's. So I think Japan really rewards people who have that mindset. And you're someone who is like extremely respectful. So I have I can see clearly why people would gravitate towards you and reciprocate, right, and invite you into their home and things. So yeah.
Thank you, Levi. Yeah, I think that's like part of maybe the Turkish side in me, because I mean it's so weird, man. When I come to your house and we have like a dinner or lunch, whatever, we do a barbecue, like even me knowing that I'm a guest, I don't care. I would still come to your kitchen and clean that mess that I was part of, I would clean the dishes and make sure that everything is like nicely put back at its place again. And so I think it's a cultural thing, but also it's your mindset. You can always, I have this conversation a lot with my friends where I go like, how can people be like this? And they go like, well, they didn't grow up, learning like any other way. And I go like, well, I understand that, but it's also on you to work on yourself and to educate yourself, right? And so I see a lot of people with similarities in that mindset, being in Tokyo. And that's why if you only stay in the expat bubble, I feel like there's always going to be this like hate against Japan, right? It's like Japan is anti-immigration and anti-this and anti-foreign, where it's really not. I believe it's trying to make the best to be fair to everyone, equally fair to everyone.
I think
right?
so.
And
too.
so, that's how it is.
I think so. I mean, even we're talking on a personal level, or I'm talking about on a personal level, how to make friends and how to belong, but also on a systemic level, I agree with you. People complain about it. I complain about it too. I want Japan to change.
So do I.
Business manager visa, like, oh, why do they have to make it so difficult? But I truly believe that, and I'm working on like a piece talking about this. I truly believe that the people running Japan do want to do the best for society. And I do believe that they know that foreigners are an integral part of this. They just want the right type of foreigners, and they're still figuring this out. But I think people don't see it because Japan plans in a super long-term mindset. They have like the 10-year plans of what they're going to implement and do, and they'll make little adjustments and things, but things happen really slowly here. But the reason that we're all here, the reason that we love Japan, is because society runs so smoothly. So I think, you have to trust. And yeah, it's harder to get to Japan maybe as a business manager, but I didn't even know that path existed when I first moved here. Everyone just became an English teacher, and that's all. If you were lucky, you could do something else. But getting here through that path is still an option. So they haven't taken that away at all. If anything, they're trying to open up more doors, but they're trying to figure out how can we do this without ruining society. So I trust it.
That's a good way to see it. Yeah. Well, yeah, they know exactly what they're doing.
They're so smart.
I had this conversation with Tim Romero as well. He said people love to complain, right? And same, like we love to complain. We love to show or tell the world what's not going well, right? And so it's the same with like this anecdote of like, okay, you need an address, but to get an address, you need to whatever, bank account, phone number and stuff. Like, yes, but if you think about it, the first thing you do when you move to a country is you have an address. So you get that address done, right? Which is, in Japan, it's easy. You just go to the city hall and register. Once you have the address, then you can get a phone number. And once you have a phone number, you can get your bank account, right? If you actually think about it, it makes sense. But we love to complain. And I think you said something really important. You said Japan is working towards this, like, to be fair towards society. And I know we talked about subsidies, for example, right? And you just went to the Yakuba yesterday, I believe. If you know what door to knock on, your chances are exactly the same as a Japanese citizens in that regard. Like, only because you're foreigner, you're not going to get less subsidy or more subsidy. You just need to kind of like figure it out, maybe talk with the community, talk with your people, and then give it a shot, right?
100%. I can give an example of this and talk about what I was doing at the Yakuba as well. So yeah, the community. I think the community is the most important thing by far in Japan. And that community, like you were saying, it's easier in the countryside for sure to have a community, I believe. And the community will basically, it reduces your need for money and other things, among other things. So just a very small example is I went to the store the other day and I bought compost. And then I came back and I told the grandparents who I'm basically helping, and I'm also like they want me to inherit their farm. Um, they told me like, why'd you buy compost? You could have gotten it from the horse area for free. They're trying to give away all of their horse poop because that's all this what I bought at the store. And I was like, tashkani, like if I would have just thought about asking them first, then I could have gotten this for free. And also when you get it for free, you establish this relationship with that horse place, and you know you might have something that you can give them. And that's how nature works, is that something's waste is something else's food, right? Or good for production. So having some kind of closed loop economics, like where that horse farm will give you the manure to the farm that makes carrots, and then the carrots go to the horse farm. Like, this is how the world is meant to be. This is how the world works, like in its most natural form, and it's what feels best to us. And the Countryside's really nailed it with the community. Now at City Hall, my friend was explaining to me the other day that he's into the AI world and he's super smart, but he understands like Japanese subsidies. He's like, there's so much money in Japan, tons and tons of money for rural revitalization projects, and it's all just like floating up here in this space. You can apply for it directly too, but there's a much better chance, and also it's a much better idea to do it through the local municipality. And this is for tax reasons, which I don't have to explain too much, but basically like you can get more money if you apply through the municipality. And the municipality, local government has every reason to do that because it's not their money, right? If you apply for a subsidy through them, they just have to submit some paperwork to access this money that's floating up here and transfer it to you, and then they sign their name off on some project that they've started to help rural revitalization. So it looks good for them, it helps in their community, and it's not their money, so they don't care, right? So there's all of this opportunities here, and you just have to kind of partner with them, and they're keen to do it. I know people who have gotten small business loans as foreigners, like 5 million yen loans, as well, just through like government backed loans, but not through the municipality. There's just private loans that exist. But yesterday, I'm sorry this is going on a little bit longer.
No, please.
But I'm talking with this guy, such a cool guy. He's an executive advisor at SoftBank. He used to be on the board of directors at a big Japanese company in global marketing. He got connected to me through, again, the community here. He's a guy who wants to support local entrepreneurs. He lives in Tokyo, but he has a second home here. And he was like, I got connected through that same AI friend who I play pickleball with. And then we were talking about rural revitalization. I told him about my retreats. He told me like, hey, I have this house that I want to put onto Airbnb. Can you property manage it? I was like, okay, that sounds great. I can get some like steady income. We start to build this relationship, and he's like, well, I bought another place and I want to turn it into like a co-working / community building area so people can, come. And he sends me articles all the time about like subsidies and things, because he's in this world in SoftBank where they're constantly talking to the federal government and developing an app, that is going to help you search for rural experiences and things. So he comes out and we have coffee in the local cafe and we talk about these things. And then we went to the Yakuba the other day, the city hall, because there's this proposal from the Japanese government, the federal government, in March that said that there is that they want to, the 10-year plans. So they had this 10-year plan for rural revitalization, which was that included Furusato Noze, and also included the Chiki Kyōryokutai. And the next phase of it, they're going to have this thing where basically you can put your residence status into a different place outside of Tokyo or wherever you live. And the only joke and the requirement is that you have to volunteer in that town 3 times per year. And
That's
it's
it.
so that's it. That's it. And then you're entitled to basically hojokin, like subsidies for your transportation and your accommodations. So whenever you go, if you like Beppu or wherever in Kyushu, if you want to like have a kankei jinbutsu, I believe they call it kankei jinko, like someone who has like a strong relation to that
Relationship.
place. Yeah, you can now yeah, put your juminhyo there, come and volunteer there, and you get subsidized anytime that you come and visit. um so we went to city hall because they again have to apply for this status to the federal government. So we went, and um it was so cool because the I again was connected to the city hall kakaricho person through pickleball because we play pickleball together. And I asked him, can we do this presentation? And so we came out, we presented to him, and they're like on board with it. And so now we're getting things moving in City Hall, and I'm sure that there'll be more subsidies because everyone's on the same page, right? They want to do things that are going to promote the town. So and we love the town, and we want to promote it too. So hopefully they'll see my retreats and give me some money to build some kind of maybe center or something too. But this is the power of the community in Japan,
Mm.
local rural
Fascinating.
Japan.
Do you know if I would be allowed to have like two Jiminhyo at the same time?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
That would be interesting.
Yeah,
I
I want to say no
mhm.
because I think that you have your juminze, right, the residence
Mm,
tax that you pay, and it might be complicated to pay it to two different municipalities. But yeah, so it might make you
okay.
choose.
So you went there to Yakuba with Sumeba, right? By the way, recently I never thought about because I was like, okay, Sumeba, when we did the application for the renewal, I was like,
Hmm.
yeah, that great name, Sumeba. Okay, I kind of get it. But then I found the proverb. I didn't know that
Hmm.
existed. And I was like, okay, Sumeba Miyako, right? I was like,
Yeah.
man, that's a good name, Levi. Can you elaborate on that and also tell the audience what Sumeba does, what you do?
Yeah, so Sumeba Miyako, I just came up with it like randomly when my paralegal was like, "You have to come up with a name for your company." So it was kind of a quick decision, but I was like the kotowaza in Japan, like ishi no ue ni mo
Hmm.
sannen. That's a
Hmm.
great one. Like be patient, basically, for 3 years, sit out on a rock. But Sumeba Miyako means essentially like home is where the heart is, or you can get used to living anywhere. Literally Sumeba Miyako with like the kanji, you know this, but it means like if you live, it's the city. Basically, it's the Miyako is like Tokyo's to. Um, so I believe, and is the capital kanji. So wherever you live is the capital. And to me, what it meant is like I lived in Tokushima for 2 years and I loved it and it was amazing. And now living in Chiba here, it feels like this is, the center of my universe.
Hmm.
Um, and people are worried about loneliness and everything, and it's way worse in the actual city, to be honest, like you were saying. So Sumeba partially is targeting that loneliness because I think people are hungering for real experiences and real connection with other people and nature and themselves. So more and more like as we intellectualize all of our work, it seems like everyone's chasing, these concepts and AI and
Hmm.
things are moving faster and faster and faster, and there's a lot of anxiety. I talk to people, AI engineers or UX designers or recruiters or anyone who are worried about their job, they're worried about what's next. They're like they also haven't had a real conversation with someone in forever. Like there was this Gen Z person who came on my retreats and she was like, I don't know if I've ever felt my feelings before. I feel like I rationalize everything and I'm always kind of numb. Um, and it's like a survival mechanism that we have. So yeah, my retreats, basically I bring people out to the countryside, um, and I take away everyone's phones, put it into a little box somewhere, and then we do some mindfulness exercises, meditation. We'll have like a bonfire. I'll introduce people in the community. We'll help out and volunteer a little bit, and it's just like a really grounding experience. And everyone who comes says the same thing, basically, like that they are just shocked by um, how valuable it is, like how different life is when you take away the device and when you just slow down for a moment. So people like that Gen Z person who came, um, people end up crying and they end up feeling and getting in touch with that emotion and they take that back with them. It's almost like an omiyage that you take back and you don't forget that, right? It might fade with time, but she reported to me that she has like better interactions with people now. She can like feel people's energy as well. She can feel her own energy when she's, like doing something that she doesn't enjoy or is doing something that she does enjoy. She actually gets fulfillment out of it. So I think it's something that's really necessary for people. And yeah, it's something I'm really passionate about as a coach. As a life coach, people think that you're like giving advice, but really what I'm doing is just providing a space for busy people to just zoom out. I help people to make decisions, like big decisions in their lives. I help people to feel a little bit less anxious and to connect better with other people. And the retreats are just a kind of a condensed version of that, right? If coaching is kind of like a one-on-one time where we are doing it spaced out over a couple of weeks, the retreat is is a place where we're really putting it into practice. Like you're living in that world where it's slower and simpler and you're present and you're experiencing what it's like on the other side, right? And then coaching is where you're implementing it in your daily life. So that's kind of how it fits. And then I do farming experiences and like day trips as well, bringing people out here to just experience the countryside, because one little aspect is I want to just show people what life is like out here and show them that it's an option, that they could be living a different life if they wanted to, because they might dream about it, but they don't know what it's actually going to be like. And sometimes people come and they're like, I really thought I wanted to live out here and farm and everything, but actually I'm good. Like I'm okay to just come once a quarter or twice a year or whatever and refresh and then go back to Tokyo in my clean, bug-free apartment and that's okay. But if, they still have a little bit of consciousness, like this world exists and they can be connected to it in some way. So, yeah.
I wonder if your experience that you had with the permaculture, and, if in your backpacking, if that impacted you more to do this or if it was life in Tokyo. I'm super curious because I can see life in Tokyo pushing you away and being like, you know what, like this is not what I want. I want Japan, but like maybe not Tokyo, right? Because it can be super tiring. It can be super like just sensory overload, right? And so once you go surfing, once you have your own community, you're like, you know what, I can have a much higher quality of life 1 hour away from Tokyo than in the 23 wards, right? So which one impacted you more?
Yeah, I mean, both definitely. The Tokyo experience was the catalyst, I guess, to go and explore, and I'm so glad that I did, because I had in Tokyo, I was living the life, the dream life. I was like I wasn't a shacho, but I was making more than a lot of shachos, than a lot of CEOs, and I was going to the Premier Club during the day, taking saunas at 2 p.m. and just chilling in the onsen in the sauna with the other CEO people in this elite club. And
Sounds so cringe.
yeah, yeah, these guys they were cool though. I mean, some of them
Mhm.
were like Roppongi club owners and things like
Mhm.
this. And but man, I like no sauna was enough to cleanse my soul of just the. I kept trying to put more and more, right. I was eating better and better food. I was trying to like stay in nicer hotels. I was like chasing more, and then all of a sudden taking away all of that luxury, all of that bullshit, basically anything that I had to do, or even the sauna, anything. And going out, and I can just still vividly remember like just walking around carrying goat shit in the Canary Islands, like living in this cave by the sea with basically nothing, um, and just learning about plants and sweating and smelling the smells. And I felt so much more alive. I felt like so deeply alive and like enriched, and there was nothing. Just my senses, just like my senses were alive. It wasn't like my brain was buzzing a million miles a second, which was what I was addicted to in Tokyo.
Mhm.
Was just like, oh, let me fill up, be as productive as I can. If I'm on like 10 different calls a day, that's awesome. That's progress. And I'm going to see the results as my bank account's going up. You know, I was such good multitasker, but I was, you know, anytime that I was bored, I was so bored and I was miserable. Then I was in this place where I was like bored and I was so happy because I don't know, it was so weird to that contrast, and it just made
Mhm.
me realize like there's so much more to life than trying to do more. We would just wake up and our whole day would be like, how do we feed ourselves? Like, let me just go pick some food and then I'm gonna make that food and take a nap. And then
Mhm.
by the time I wake up, it's time to like, okay, we can go surf, and then we'll pick more food and make it and then take another nap. And
Mhm.
like I'm happy. So I mean there's an element of wanting to build, which I totally get, and that's part of what makes me happy.
Mhm.
Um, but not
It's
building
building
in,
with purpose.
but building with
Yeah.
purpose. Yeah, and in a way that doesn't sacrifice the reason that you're building. You know, people are building because they want to be happy. They're like, someday I'm gonna have enough money to be happy. Someday I'm gonna have enough X to be happy. I'm gonna feel confident enough or love myself enough once I accomplish this thing. And then that someday never comes, right? And if you're not building it with loving yourself, with that confidence, with that like with giving yourself time and space to enjoy what you're building, then what's the point? I just don't get it. So that was a really big mindset shift for me.
Mm.
And now I'm allergic to the other kind of like, you know, scale just for the sake of it, or
Mhm.
grow at all costs and sacrifice your happiness for the future, like pay off. Not to say that I don't work hard, because I think that's just a part of me that will hopefully always be a part of me. But I actually enjoy it now, like in a way that I didn't before. And I want to show people, like, come and do nothing out here and see how great it is, and then, you know, do less. I feel like the world will be healed if we can just like figure that out. And you know, naturally people will probably resonate to going back to nature, like closer to
Mhm.
it at least, because these things are so small but fulfilling, you know. So yeah, I'm really passionate about that. I don't know if I answered your question or just went on a tangent,
Yeah,
but
yeah, no, no, that's perfect. My mom used to say, if you're not happy with what you have, like
mm,
right now at this specific moment, you will never be happy. Not with money, not with more cars, not with more houses, because there's always this like, okay, I want more. The way you just described it was perfect. Like I want more, and someday I'll be this and have like 10x of what I have right now. And even when that day comes,
mm-hmm,
it's like I'm not happy, right?
mm-hmm,
It's like emptiness. And
mm-hmm.
so now it makes
Yeah.
sense. I think because people will now probably say, oh, well, it's easy to say that if you have money, you can just like go outside the countryside and pretend. Well, yes, obviously you do need some finances, but also on that side, if you do it the right way, and Japan has so many smart ways to invest and to multiply your money. Again, you just instead of spending it every day for like 700-800 yen coffees in Tokyo, you could be investing that money, and then within 3 years or 5 years, you would have enough to go a little bit outside and maybe get a second home and just relax a little bit and enjoy life more.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that was part of the motivation of moving out here too, is the living costs. It's like, if I'm going to be building a business, this is just going to buy me time. I don't want to have to be in this place where I'm on the treadmill, like pressured to pay my rent every month. I have the same size apartment as I did in Tokyo, and it's 1/4 of the price, maybe less. I think Tokyo's prices have gone up since I left.
They have, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I did have money coming out here, and there's no, I think that's very realistic. Like, you have to plan to have money to buy yourself time, right? Because I see people that will give up early on what they actually love to do or want to do because they don't have the finances. But I also, on the other side, like meeting the SoftBank guy who wants to invest and help local entrepreneurs, and hearing like about the subsidies that exist, and hearing about basically if you're doing something, you will be able to find money. I think money is just a resource, and what's way more precious, what's way more rare than money is people that are just honest, hardworking, and are passionate about something cool and doing shit, like taking action on it. That's so rare. There's so many people who have money in Tokyo and otherwise. And so that was like it's a realization I keep coming to, because there's always insecurity about making enough, and wanting to support potentially a family and things for the future. But I think about, like, I wish I had done this earlier. I genuinely think that I just would be at a farther place along in my business if I would have started earlier. So I'll like give some grace to myself because I had to go through these trials and everything, and it helped me. But still, starting earlier and getting more connected, getting better knowledge in these real world skills, like money is going to come from that. I told the guy the other day, I was like, hey, I might be moving away from this recruitment training that I do, and so I'm not sure how I'm gonna have like stable money coming in. And he was like, oh, well, I know a guy who's looking for a consultant in X. You might be a good fit. Some other dude was like, hey, I have 20 something million that I want to invest in an Airbnb. If you find me a place, then you can be a property manager. Like, there's so many ways that the money can come flowing in. But yeah, I get it with the not wanting to let go. You want just a little bit more, but there's a lot of things that is insecurity. I know people that have so much more savings than I do, and they're still not okay to release any, level of control over it. And that's when I think is sad. If you're someone who has no money at all, then that's a different story. I still think there's ways in Japan, like the Chiki Kyokutai and things, to go out and live in the countryside for cheap, and to build wealth and things from nothing. But it's the people on the other side that I really want to help with my coaching and with retreats. It's the people that have everything and they're still not happy. Right?
That's wild.
Yeah. It's a lot of people out there. And yeah.
I just made my mind run and have more thoughts about this. But I know we are super short on time. What's next for Sumeba and for you personally, Levi?
So I just started taking over this farm. So again, like part of belonging in Japan, I just randomly was walking around the town, found some people that were doing peanut farming. Now I was consistently like, I put it in the calendar. This is super important. I was like, I'm just going to every Tuesday, can I come and volunteer at your farm? And they were like, yeah, that sounds great. No one else is doing that. Or obviously, there's no one here who's young, first of all. No one who's young and willing to do that. So coming in and showing up every Tuesday, I go and I farm with them in the morning. Then we eat lunch together. They make it for me. Dinner, same thing.
Full day.
It's a full day that I work for them basically for free, but they pay me lunch and dinner. And it pays in this relationship. Yeah, they feed me. And they also are like, hey, we have another farm that we're not using anymore. Do you want to take it over? And eventually practice on that one and then take over our whole farm in 5 years from now.
Damn.
So I'm kind of working on that now, which is a lot of work, but I love it. I'm obsessed with it. It's teaching me so much, like from a farming perspective and growing food, which I really want to learn, like from a self-reliance perspective, but also from just like a working perspective. There's so many metaphors that are coming from my work in the garden. So I love it. That's one thing personally for me. And yeah, I've been having trouble spending as much time on LinkedIn these days.
Which is a good thing.
Which is a good thing. I have my retreats are filling up without doing so. Like I've just through word of mouth and through the seeds that I've planted on LinkedIn, people are coming back and interested in my retreats. So I don't have any reason to go back. It's kind of like the money thing. If you don't, obviously I have to plant more seeds or I have nothing to harvest in 3 months from now. But I can ease off a little bit and be a little bit more, intentional with it rather than just how I have been daily posting. I want to do more long form content, I think, for LinkedIn, because I want to give people more of an idea of like, what is the mindset that I have and how does regenerative mindset fit into working style and how does it fit into potentially like a corporate offsite, right? Or a transformation in a team, because I really believe that is the future. Right? Up until this point, it's been all about conventional farming. It's been all about conventional working, which is like productivity, efficiency. And those measures of quarterly results and those measures of like the numbers are not serving us anymore. Because for too long, I'm mixing these farming metaphors, but we've just put in these artificial fertilizers, right? These chemicals, the drugs, basically, the Red Bulls and the coffees and the forcing yourself, right? Isolating ourselves in a cubicle and trying to be as efficient as possible. And we're making ourselves miserable and we're burning out and we're making, we're disconnecting from the soil around us that's supposed to support us. And we're relying on these things that are bought, right? The chemical fertilizer or maybe something that's supposed to make us happy, right? And something you buy off of Amazon, for example, or an experience or a bar or something. Anyway, I feel like the world is now transitioning to a point where it's more about the connections that you have and measuring like the longevity or the like the sustainability of your lifestyle or of your working habits, right? Or your farm. If you're working on a farm that's conventional, each year the inputs go up, you have to buy, and the production goes down. Whereas in a regenerative model, it's the opposite. You put in less and less work and inputs, and the production goes up. And that's actually how nature works, if we let it. So I want to show people, like shake people and show people this reality and bring it into working culture as well. So maybe more company offsites. Again, from the seeds I was planting on LinkedIn, I didn't post for like almost the past week. And I had, I think, 5 posts, maybe more, where people tagged me. So it's like people are talking about what I'm doing and I'm not even showing up there anymore. It's just, again, from planting these seeds and trying to spread like goodness. Obviously, I'm not like Jesus and I'm not a model of you're a way nicer person, I think, than I am. But just giving back, you get it in return, right? If you plant lemon seeds, you're going to get lemons. But if you plant, watermelon seeds, you're going to get watermelon, or mango seeds, you're going to get mangoes. So having people talk about me while I'm not there in a positive way is really cool. And some dude reached out to me, and happens all the time where they want to collaborate, or he wants to like offer my retreats to companies in Europe and America. Who knows what will happen with any of this stuff, but all I know is if none of that works out, then at least I'll have the skills to provide for myself and my family and grow food, and hopefully like, build a structure and make fire and make water systems. So that's the kind of first principle, is like, what do I love to do? And also what is going to make me feel like self-reliant in case, because we have no idea what the future is going to hold. But from there, how can I then, show other people about it? And the money is just going to follow, I think. So, I talk way too much on this, but you can feel my passion, hopefully. Yeah.
Love
Thank
it.
you.
That's the best. If I don't have to interrupt, don't have to ask anything, just listen. That's what I love. Levi, how can people contact you except for LinkedIn?
Yeah, you can reach out to me on email, I guess, levihkp@gmail.com, or my website, sumeba.org, and send me like some kind of contact through that. Lately, I haven't been as good about posting what events that I'm running, just because I've been busy in the farm and like in the real world,
present in life,
but I know and also filling them up, right? But there's really cool things, so just ask me, if you don't see something posted. We're having a peanut planting and outdoor concert thing on May 2nd. Retreat options. If people are interested in doing a retreat, I'll organize it around them too and their availability. So it's almost like if people are coming, they're interested, then I'll organize a retreat in a group around that, rather than like I've planned this date and I've advertised and have all these materials, and so in that way it's more organic. But I probably should just hire someone to help me with that design side of things. Yeah. Okay.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Levi. If you're shy about reaching out to Levi, let me know. I'm happy to introduce you guys as well. And yeah, let's bring this one home. Levi, take it easy. We'll stay in touch. I'll see you in May. And yeah, thanks for your time.
All right. See you, man.